So, I'm sure you're all aware of the Fantastic Four movie that is coming out soon, very soon, I think. In fact, I think it might be a matter of weeks at this point. But man, do I have some thoughts, some complicated feelings about this one. And look, I try not to be negative. I really do. It was sort of a special treat for me when I talked about my strong dislike of like Yellow Jacket season 3 and The Haunting of Hill House, the book, which just didn't really click with me at all, really. But as for Fantastic Four, I am certain that I will see this movie, which is more than could be said for Captain America: Brave New World, which I just had absolutely no interest in whatsoever. This has kind of got me curious, if nothing else. Thunderbolts surprised me, actually. Thunderbolts, I was actually thrilled with it in a lot of ways. And I hope that this one will surprise me too. But I want the record to show that I have my doubts. And not for the reasons you might think, not for the many varied reasons that people are claiming they won't like this. I couldn't care less that the Silver Surfer is a woman, and you know what? If Vanessa Kirby is her version of Sue Storm as the main character, I don't know if she is, but I've seen some people making complaints about it even being possible, which that just doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, that's fine. I mean, Sue Storm is the most protagonisty of the Fantastic Four. Like, from my knowledge of the comics and experience with the Fantastic Four just in general. Like, I know the attention always gets dropped on Reed Richards for logical reasons, but Reed is he's not terribly interesting a character. Like, he never really clicked with me. Like, he's fine. He's a fine character. I get what they're going for. And in this, I don't know why they cast Pedro Pascal for the role, but that's fine too, I guess. Pedro is, you know what? I like Pedro Pascal as an actor, but he doesn't have a huge acting range, which might actually work in favor of a guy like Reed, who's so kind of so serious, so sciency and nerdy, and he's not exactly the most like super charismatic. Like, he's not the most flamboyant presence, and I think that kind of works for Pedro. God love him, who isn't a, doesn't seem to me like a very nuanced actor. Like, his performance as the Viper in Game of Thrones, it was maybe his most interesting role. He's like this flamboyant, smooth talking character, um, whereas a lot of his other characters just seem a little, especially recently, a lot of his characters seem a little samey. Um, and I like Pedro, don't get me wrong. But of this cast, yeah, I think Sue Storm would be the obvious main character at this point. And it's kind of a shame because I don't think we'll get much love for our boy Ben Grimm, who was always the sort of show stealer fan favorite in terms of like the comics and cartoons and such, right? Reed was supposed to be the main character, right? And Ben was kind of the fan favorite, right? He's the Wolverine in this X-Men team, right? Am I wrong? Um, I mean, and I've always had a lot of respect for the Fantastic Four as a whole. Their stories always seemed a little weird to me, like the alien worlds and the mole men uh, and whatnot. Annihilus, now he's a cool villain. I really like Annihilus, actually. Um, Galactus always struck me as a big purple weenus, honestly. But maybe they'll change my mind with this movie. Um, but honestly, just feels like they have a lot on their plate with this one, and in a way that, say, the Superman movie doesn't. Even though the upcoming Superman movie has like 500 different characters that they need to juggle. This is just a monolithic task for Marvel, especially for them to do it well, because the Fantastic Four is so precious and important to the the Marvel universe, especially the comics, right? And unless they have one heck of a twist coming, feels like they're kind of missing some important things already to make this movie good. Most notably, you know what? You guys know me. You know what I'm going to say, and you can say it with me if you like, because I'm upset that where is Victor Von Doom? Um, and this has been a long time coming. My thoughts on the Doom situation, and I'm just gonna say it. I really don't like that they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. I don't know how they're going to reconcile the Iron Man situation, and I'm not sure I care. I'm a little bit annoyed by the whole situation because my God, I like Robert Downey Jr. fine, but he's not Doctor Doom. Not even a little bit. Not the true Doctor Doom for me. He's not my Doctor Doom. Um, I mean, and we've never really had a good Doctor Doom. We've had a Doctor Manhattan wannabe, and we've had a reasonably charismatic Sith Lord in the form of Cole from Charmed. Um, and yes, that's about it. Yep. Nope. That's all the Dooms we've had. No, no, that's not, because we've also had a brilliant, ridiculous Shakespearean supervillain in the form of, I think his name's Joseph Culp, um, from the 1994 movie, which never saw wide release and was originally made just to keep the rights to the IP. And you know what? That movie is in many ways the best Fantastic Four movie to date. If nothing else, it's the most accurate, and it's also just genuinely better than Van Forstick of only a few years ago. Um, it's also just an absurd movie, really. It's crazy. Look it up if you want, and treat it like a comedy. And you'd actually have a good time with it, I think. But yeah, if we're being honest, I want my Latverian dictator, the former friend and colleague of Reed Richards, the master of magic and enemy of the devil, right? The defender of Earth, right? I want Doom Vader, right? I want this complex, oppressed minority leader who is seeking justice, and this brilliant chess master, and this morally effed up and dangerous supervillain, unrivaled in mental and spiritual powers. Um, Instead, we're getting Iron Man again, and I don't know how that's going to be. And I really don't think he's going to be in Fantastic Four at all, and that's going to be a kick in the crotch because that's an important part of the backstory of both characters, both Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, is that connection there. It's it sucks a little bit, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they do something really good and clever with it all. And I will happily eat crow if they pull the rug out from under us and do something amazing. And you know what? I am actually, for once, interested in uh, Galactus in this movie because he's being played by Ralph Ineson, and if there's one thing that big purple weenus needs, it's the awesome voice of a guy like Ralph. I mean, it's the only way to make, as I said, the big purple ridiculous monster dork imposing and interesting. And honestly, I'm not even joking here. Galactus has never interested me because he's a big purple weirdo. But my god, I think they can give him a win here. Give me some of that eldritch horror. I mean, I'm down for that. He's the destroyer of worlds. You know, that would be cool. And so yeah, I guess I'm just here to say that I'm down for Fantastic Four, but also I do have reservations. I just hope it's as good as Thunderbolts, and which is possibly unlikely, because upon reflection, Thunderbolts is like one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I don't know why so many people didn't like that movie. Yeah, it's baffling to me. So, uh, yeah, yeah. Like and subscribe if you want to hear me talk about more weird crap like this. Hit the bell icon so you always know when I upload new videos, and comment, and you get the drill. I've been Connor Freeman, fantasy author, soon to be a horror author as well, a game designer, and all around lover of things strange and nerdy. So, yeah. Bye.